Hello, my name is Maria, and I am a nurse practitioner that works with Marek Health. And today I am joined by Ryan, who is one of our health coaches, to discuss an exciting 5-star client review. So, Ryan, you recently got such an amazing review from one of our patients that we collaborated on. And at his follow up, I recommended a few adjustments to his protocol. But I read in his review that your approach to lifestyle has been incredibly impactful for him. So, what is your approach to personalized lifestyle recommendations for the clients that you work with?
Yeah, so I think understanding that each client that comes in is unique and just looking at things on a case by case basis is what I believe sets us apart from the mainstream medical model. So I try to meet people where they're at and set realistic goals right out of the gate. That varies client to client, but my approach always starts with understanding who the person is. So not just their lab values, but their story, their goals, and their current lifestyle. After we run a comprehensive set of labs, if there's any areas that need attention, I try to identify the lowest hanging fruit, and then build a clear path around that. So I just try to encourage people to look at this as more of a marathon than a sprint. At the end of the day, it's not about perfection. It's about progress. And I feel like making smaller, more sustainable changes and encouraging them to stay the course and most importantly, stay consistent is going to allow them to achieve their goal at the end of the day.
Love that. Now, for this patient, we actually celebrated 30 pounds of weight loss at his visit, and he spoke really highly of the lifestyle changes being particularly impactful for him getting to that goal. In your opinion, what do you think were the most impactful variables to getting him to that point?
Yeah, so with this client in particular, since we were focused on weight loss, obviously proper diet and exercise were critical. And that's even with the use of like GLP-1 medications. I try to encourage people to look at these options as more tools, right? They can help us get things moving in the right direction by quieting food noise. But we need to meet the medication halfway at the end of the day with the appropriate diet and exercise in order to maximize the results. So, with diet, sometimes that's a struggle for people. So I feel like making things as simple as possible is a good strategy right out of the gate. If it's easy to adhere to, that's going to allow you to stay consistent, and consistency is key at the end of the day. So in this particular case, he opted to use a meal prep service, which I think is awesome. I recommend that to a lot of my clients because it allows us to take the guesswork out of it and it allows people to stay on track. So we also discussed limiting alcohol and sweets, which made a massive difference in his overall inflammation, his energy, his recovery. So I think that was a big deal for him. But beyond all of that, in the weight loss success, we were able to significantly improve his metabolic health, which is a huge win at the end of the day.
Definitely, definitely. And other than his body composition, what really impressed you, in addition to that, with his transformation? For me, I really loved hearing about the improvements in his mood that he's experienced. Maybe you can expand on that.
Absolutely. So that was one of the most powerful parts of this particular individual's journey. So he's a military vet. So he had shared that he had been through some really challenging times in his past. Outside of improving his physical health, he really wanted to work on his mental well being. So as he started to lose weight and as he started to get healthier, you could see his demeanor start to shift. So each time we would meet up to review lab work or to go over his protocol via Zoom, you could see his appearance starting to change. He was becoming more confident and he was excited to kind of keep that momentum going. So, really seeing him rediscover his confidence along the way has been awesome. It's part of the reason that I love doing what I do, and I'm just really proud of him for that.
Love that. In his review, he commented that you have really helped him as a source of accountability and encouragement. And in my opinion, this is one of the most valuable aspects of the health coach model. What does that look like for you specifically to encourage someone towards their goals and provide that source of accountability for them?
Yeah, I think accountability is huge, right? It lets you know that you're not alone in this, and I just try to encourage my clients to stay the course, right? Each time we meet up to discuss their case, I'm trying to highlight the wins on their lab work, and in this case, reiterate how far he had come from the very beginning when we started working together. And that's not only in body composition, but massive improvements in the lab markers that we were looking at. So At the end of the day, like with anything, it's going to take time for major change. It's especially with weight loss, but along the way, seeing those lab markers improve, seeing your body composition shift, feeling better about yourself, having the symptoms start to resolve. This encourages clients to keep pushing forward. It creates that momentum along the way and that trust along the way, knowing that I'm going to be there to support them. And that's what keeps people not only showing up for us, but also showing up for themselves at the end of the day. So
That's awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Ryan. It has been such a pleasure to collaborate on helping clients together. And thank you all for watching. If you want to learn more about what we do at Marek Health, please check us out at marekhealth.com.